Hi, so today we are going to be doing a basic tutorial in the Poshmark app. If you don't know what it is and you haven't started selling on Poshmark yet, then this video is for you. So my name is Karen with the Thrifty Flamingo. I talk a lot about Poshmark. I talk a lot about reselling and making money. If you're interested in this content, I would definitely subscribe to my channel. If you're returning, welcome back. I have people that, sell on many different platforms that, I'm associated with, and I get a lot of questions about Poshmark, and it seems a little intimidating because it is a little bit different than most of the other apps. There's a lot of social network involved with it, and it's nothing to be intimidated about. The best thing for you to do to get started is to download the app. So download the app, create a closet name. You have to think of a closet name. Most people put like a screen name that they've used long ago, but you should put a little bit of thought into your closet name. You can't go changing it whenever you want. So think fashion, think you, make it personable. So let's get into the little bit of a tutorial on the Poshmark app. You're gonna wanna hang around till after this quick Poshmark intro tutorial because I'm going to be answering 5 questions straight from my subscribers. So once you download the Poshmark app, on the bottom of your screen, you're gonna see feed, shop, sell, news, and then your closet name that you chose. So we're gonna go over each tab individually. The first thing is your feed. So if you think about your feed, think about things that you do know. Think about Twitter, think about Facebook. All of this is every single person that I follow. Whenever they share an item, it goes directly to the feed. However, I follow 90,000 people. So my feed gets very, very, very busy. When you first sign up, you get 150 people that you automatically followed, so you have a feed. So you have a way to get your feet wet and start learning the app. They're all Posh ambassadors. Posh ambassadors are people that have been vetted, have been on the app long enough, and have Posh compliant closets. So in your feed at the top left and top right, top left, it looks like a little person with a plus. This is where you find ambassadors that you could possibly follow, those people that have been vetted, they kind of know what they're doing. And at the top, you can search to find people. You can find people who like certain brands. You can find people to follow that live in your city, go to your old college. You can find new people that have just joined the app. Now, if you just joined the app, you will be under just joined. So you might get a few extra followers. Now, second one is shop. We all love to shop. Now, this looks a little crazy. They did a little bit of a makeover on this tab. The top part says people. So this is kind of a shortcut. Whenever you have an interaction on Poshmark and you share somebody's item, they go into the top of this list, the top of the people list. So you can have easy access to somebody that you were just talking to or sharing their closet with. Next tab is brands. You should follow brands that you like and that you sell in your closet, and that helps people find you better too. Next one is your likes. Yes, we're here to sell and make money, but who doesn't like to shop a little bit too? So you're going to find some things that you like. So you would favorite them, and they're all in one place. They're all up in your likes. Now the next part's really important. These are called parties. Poshmark's social aspect to the app is they have parties. Live parties every day. They have 4 parties, and it is per time zone. So the next party, as you see coming up at 3 p.m. is Best in Makeup. That means if you have any makeup listed in your closet, you're able to share it to that party. So somebody who's looking for makeup could go right to the party and find a bunch of makeup and possibly buy your item. Then they have an everything plus size and a simply chic party. That's today's parties. They change every day. Sometimes they'll have like Best in men's party or kids party. They have name brand parties, Madewell, Lucky Brand, all that kind of stuff, free people. So it's important that you are social on this social app and you are going to these parties and kind of sharing a little bit when you can. Now you can also search by plus size, petite, juniors. They make it really easy to find stuff. They want you to find stuff. Now scrolling down, you'll see wholesale. I made a whole video on opening a boutique. That's what the wholesale portal is. If you are interested in opening a boutique, I will link that video above. And then at the bottom, they have little showrooms. I've had some of my stuff in these showrooms. So showrooms, let's open up Adidas Superstar sneakers. If you have a pair of these sneakers, as long as you have the title right and you use the category right, and it says women's shoes sneakers, and then you put Adidas Superstar, you're going to show up in whatever, this showroom is. If your item isn't categorized right, it might not show up in the showroom, but as long as you're making your listings correctly, you should be fine. So the middle one is sell. I'm not going to be making a listing today. I already taught you guys how to do that. I will link that video above. And so we'll go to the next one. We'll go to your news feed. Now, when you sign up for any app, they say, hey, allow push notifications. Now, I'm sure many of us get like an obscene amount of push notifications that we got used to saying, no more push notifications. Do not turn off your push notifications for Poshmark, especially since you're going to be selling on it. You need to know when somebody asks you a question about an item, when you make a sale, or when you have an offer on an item. And if you turn off your notifications, you're not going to know that, and you could miss out on potential money. At the very top of the newsfeed, you're going to see all comments and offers. So all is kind of in the name. It's every single thing that comes. You have anything from people that followed you, people that have liked an item. This person has liked my item. And then, I'm on tag list, parties. Poshmark sends daily party invites like, oh, tomorrow, best in gifts party. That's good to know. So that you'll see under all. Now, if you want to filter it, that's at the top. If you just want to see if anybody left you a comment, then you would hit comments. Now, I want you to look at the content. So at the first two ones, she put my closet name on there, at Pink Flamingo BTQ. That's called tagging. Now, the third one down, she just typed in a message. I happened to see the message because I was there. You do want to tag the person because, if you don't actually tag the person, it's not going to their push notification. Remember I said you leave those on? Yeah, so they might not see that you left them a message unless you put the little @ symbol and then their closet. So to do that, you would go to their closet. So I'm just going to go to the shop feed. And I'm going to go up here. It's a little Miss Carrie. Carrie said I could use her name. Yay. She has such cute things in her closet. Go to her closet. Ooh, best in makeup. All right, so to tag somebody, very simply, whatever you want to say you wanted these lovely J. Crew wool silk brown dotted pants of hers. You would go down to comment. Fatty fingers. And then you would hit the @ and start typing her closet name. Now, you don't have to type out the whole name. As you see, I just hit P, and it populated her at the very top of the list. When it's the closet that you're trying to tag, it's pretty smart like that. And then you would type your message. Now, if you don't, it could get lost in the feed. Somebody that doesn't have a lot of followers, they might, see somebody that hasn't tagged them. They might see, just a regular message. But when somebody has 90,000 followers, I've lost messages. I've seen messages 6 days later when somebody hasn't tagged me. So you want to tag the person. Now the last one is your information. This is where you're going to find your closet. This is where you're going to set up your Posh profile. This is where you're going to set up your address, all the stuff about you. It's really important that you do this and you don't omit anything. At the very top, it says your guide to Poshmark. As a new user, you should read these. They make them kind of fun. They make them very short, simple, to the point. You know, the pictures and everything, and look how short that is. You know, so I would definitely, I read them back in the day. Read them up. Get familiar with the app that you're using. So as you see this grouping, it says my closet, my likes, my profile, my size. So your closet is your listings when you're selling something. They make it kind of like your actual closet at home. Where do you keep your clothes? In your closet. So that's the name of your site. Your closet is your site. So at the top, you're going to see your screen name that you chose. It's your closet name. And every single time that you make a listing, it goes into your closet. So we'll get back to the closet at the end, and we're going to talk all about organizing it. Payment methods, I think that's kind of common sense. The profile is your address. You know, you need to do that, especially since you're selling, because you're printing shipping labels. So they need to know the from and to type of thing. Now, size. When you search in Poshmark, say you search black chunky knit sweater, every black chunky knit sweater is going to pop up on the entire site. So for you to find a sweater that's going to fit you, if you fill out your size profile and you say, okay, your dresses, your jeans, yada, yada, all this stuff here, whenever you search something like that, you're only going to see the sizes that you chose, your sizes. If you have kids, you can also set up theirs. If you have, you know, your little hubs in your life, or you're a guy, set up his sizes as well. It makes searching and navigating the app as a buyer easier. Now, the next grouping is where you would see all your sales. Very important to know what sold, how much you're making, and the fun stuff. Underneath that, you're going to see balance. If you look to the top right corner as well, you're going to see a little money symbol. You can also hit that and get your balance as well. And then your Posh stats. This is where you can, you know, become an ambassador. The more you do things. I got grandfathered into it because I was a suggested user. If you meet all these requirements and you get 5,000 community shares, 5,000 self-shares, and all this stuff listed, you will then get recommended to new Poshmark users, and then you get more exposure. More exposure equals more sales. We like sales. All right, so now we're going to go back to the closet. We're going to talk about sharing and organizing your closet, because I get asked this a lot. When you share, there's 3 ways to share. I had to think about it. So let's go to these Vince Camuto shoes. So if you just look at the closet on the bottom right of the listing, it kind of looks like a recycle sign. If you tap that, it's going to say share. Best in makeup or followers. I can't share these shoes to best in makeup because it's not makeup. So I would hit followers. That is one way to share your listing. Or you can long press. If you take your finger or handy dandy stylus and you press for a couple seconds, the same thing pops up. The little recycle looking sign, and you hit that, and then the same screen pops up. My followers. The last way to share is an editing share. You would open up the listing. In the top right corner, go edit, next, list, and back out of it. Those are the 3 ways you could share. Now, as you see, these shoes are the 3rd one down. Now I'm going to back out of my closet and go back into it. Look what just happened to the shoes. They got bumped up to position number 1. So the order in which you share your items is the order in which they show up. Every time you share, it goes to the number 1 spot in your closet. So, ways people like to organize their closet. I used to have my Poshmark closet organized. I had it 2 different ways at one point. At first, when I had a smaller closet, I had it grouped into categories. And I made little listing signs, kind of like this one, like welcome to my closet, but it said shirts, And then under everything after that was every kind of shirt I had. And then I had one for pants and jeans and skirts and dresses and shoes. So what that did was make sharing to theme specific parties very easy. So if it wasn't best in makeup and it was best in shoes, I could scroll down to where it would have said shoes and shared all of those. And it would have been easier, you know. Then I got a little sick of it. It was kind of hard to keep up because one share out of order and look what happens. Something else goes to the top. So some things were getting mixed and mingled. I did away with the shoes and shirts and the categories. And then I kind of just had a mixed closet for a little bit. And I started doing a color organization. That's how I do my own personal closet. Very color coordinated. Like if you were to open up my physical closet at my house, you would see like pretty much the spectrum of the rainbow. Black to gray to red to blue, and it would all kind of like, so if I'm looking for a black shirt, I don't need to go through my whole closet. I just go to the black section and rifle through it. And I think I've done that for a very long time in my life. So I did that to my Poshmark closet. I had every black item all together, kind of like a spectrum. And same thing was happening. I was getting a little sloppy with the sharing, and then all of a sudden there was a red shirt with the jeans and the blue items, and I'm like, oh, okay. And it was kind of hard to keep up. Do you need to organize your closet? You don't need to. This is completely up to you if you want to go and make categories. I know I've heard a lot of people say, oh, I think it looks nicer, it looks neater. That's a good opinion. I actually agree with that opinion. However, you know, when somebody stumbles across your closet, say, you know, somebody tagged you and they said, hey, look at this awesome closet I just found, and people start checking out your closet and they open it up. What if they're not looking for a shirt and they open up your closet and it says shirts, and then they have to go through like 40 shirts, and then it says jeans, and all they want are shoes, but your shoes are all the way at the bottom of your closet. You know, they might leave your closet before ever finding what they actually came for. Same thing with color organization. You know, if somebody stumbles into your closet and the first thing you have are like every gray thing you own in your closet, and it's like 35 items of gray, what if that's like their most hated color? You know, everybody has that color they won't wear. I don't think it's gray. It's usually like a color most people do. But yeah, what if it's like, they're like, ew, everything here is gray. Now, most people don't look through their entire closet, especially when you have hundreds of items. They might do the top 10 to 15 lines of your closet. Cute. All right, you know, like this looks like a lot of clothes. This is like a small portion of my closet right here. And then they're looking and they might go, oh, okay, that's cute. But most people don't get all the way down to the bottom. So what I found through the years is I gave up on organizing through color and through category, and I put my new listings on top. First of all, that's easier because when you list an item, it does just like that edit next list, and it lists it so it goes to the very first listing in your closet. So if you're listing an item, it's already at the top of your closet. So I put all my new items at the top, and what it does, in my opinion, is it gives them more exposure. So when people open up your closet, they see all your new listings that you want to get exposure to. You know, so you want people to start favoriting them and bookmarking them, possibly buying them right off the bat. So I put all my newer ones at the top. And the best I get with organizing is I'll group things aesthetically. Like if you look at this line of blue jeans, goldish sneakers, blue jeans with gold in it. Like they look nice together. I won't put clashing listings next to each other. Like that's just me. So I keep it kind of like pleasant to the eye, loosely, very loosely. Here, I'll show you a really good example. See how these are all very similar colors, and then there's the black Nicole Miller dress. Go figure. So we have the orange hues and the reddish and the cream, and yeah. So that looks really like nice together, but it's not so much like here's all the orange. And then you go a little lower, and it starts turning pinkish and blue. So that's how I organize my closet. So a little bit more on the sharing. To keep my closet in the order that it is. When I share my entire closet, and I share my entire closet at minimum 2 times a day. Minimum. That's when I'm like rushing around. Like yesterday I was like rushing around. So minimum 2 times a day. What I do is I scroll all the way down, all the way down. We keep going, and yeah. Till I get to my sold listings. This is also another thing that I do. You don't need to do this. When I get sales, I don't share my sales. I share everything around it. So all my sales get like piled at the bottom. You see when I say everything past this point is sold. All right, good. So everything past this point is sold. And then these all have the little like sold flag next to them. That's just me. I know that there's people that leave sold listings, smattered in their closet because they think, someone that comes to their closet sees like, oh, this lady sells a lot of stuff. She must know what she's doing. She has a lot of sales. I have no feelings about this one way or another. I tried that. I tried because I was talking to somebody on one of the Facebook Poshmark groups, and they're like, yeah, leave a few sold smattered listings all over your closet, and it really boosts sales. And I tried, but I like them, out of sight, out of mind at the bottom of my closet. So in order to keep your closet in the order that it is now, you need to share from the bottom to the top and not skip anything. So you would I share when I sell. I'll share everything past this point is sold, and then I share all the way up in the order. And that keeps everything in order so that this does not happen. My shoes don't end up here, and then my welcome to my closet doesn't. So to move the shoes back where they belong, I need to share my husband's closet notification. Oh, I hit the makeup one. And then my closet. Now back out. And then as you see, we're back in order. This is your business. Whether you are starting Poshmark because you want a little side income, and you want to buy a little extra groceries or have a little extra spending money, or you're saving up for that really expensive pair of boots. Doesn't matter why you decided to download this app. So this is your business, and you do you. You do this how you see fit. Just because I have given up on closet organization doesn't mean you have to. If you think you can keep up with it and maintain it, go for it. This is your business. No one can tell you yes or no, don't do or don't do that. You run it as you see fit. Now, don't be afraid. People get very intimidated by it because I just showed you very briefly a few of the different features. I did not go over the dressing room. That's going to be a whole other video for you guys. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to click around. If you click on the feed and you open a pair of booties, okay, don't be afraid to look around, open up little tabs, say, hey, what's this mean? Everything can be undone, except for buying. If you hit buy and then it says, are you sure you want to buy? And you say yes, you just bought that. Or offering. But for the most part, if you say, oh, what's this? Okay, somebody, or your finger accidentally hit somebody, you're not blowing anything up, I promise you. You do something all day, very often, you're going to get really used to it. Don't be afraid to open up a tab. Don't be afraid to say, hey, what's here? Oh, okay, or, hey, what's this? It's not going to break the app. I have one last thing for you as a present. An early Christmas present. People ask me a lot of questions, whether it be on here on YouTube, on Instagram, and they're not enough for a video. They're definitely not enough for a video. But I've decided that once a month, I'm going to answer your questions real quick. I'm going to answer your questions. Now,
Some of these have been asked in multiple forms, and I kind of like, you know, rearranged the question, but it's pretty much the same thing. So I have a few. So when/why did I decide to go to be a full-time reseller? I decided to be a full-time reseller when I was having very consistent numbers and growing numbers. It took about 8 months for me to actually like crunch the data. It wasn't like, hey, I had a great month, I'm gonna quit my job and go all into this. 8 months worth of data, 8 months worth of me looking at my previous month and my weeks and seeing trends in my selling, and not just steady, but steady growth. And I told myself, I said, if I'm doing this with a 32-hour-a-week job, imagine if I took those 32 hours and put it into what I'm doing. And yeah, so then I definitely scaled to where I am now. Next question. This is a good one. How do you stay motivated when you have a bad day or days of sales? Especially since I do this as a living, there's always a slump. Everybody, even people that hit like you know, like 10K, 20K a month, there's always that one day where it's like, ugh, what's up? You know, or a couple days in a row. It could be anything from the time of the month it is to, you know, not like the day before payday, or who knows, you know. I can't let that get to me. When I have like 3 days in a row or 2 days that it's just like dragging and I'm not doing anything different and I know it's not on me, I just keep on trucking. You know, I know that it's gonna get better. My numbers, you know, history has shown that it's not a permanent thing. And if I know it's not me, and you know, if I'm doing what I'm supposed to and I'm sharing and I'm listing, constantly listing is the key, and it's not on me, I just keep my head up high and I know tomorrow's gonna be better. And if tomorrow's not better, I know the next day is gonna be better. You know, it never holds out. It never will hold out as long as you're doing what you're doing. Okay, this, some of you might be thinking too, are you okay with Poshmark taking 20% when other selling websites take less? Yes, other websites do take less. eBay and PayPal, less. Some of them are free because they're still in beta testing. Yeah, Poshmark does have one of the higher fees for selling platform. I don't mind it, and this is my reason why. Poshmark makes it very simple to sell things, and simpler than anybody else. eBay, you have to list it, and when it sells, what do you have to do? What you have to do is wrap it, weigh it, and figure out postage. You have to figure out, okay, what's the cheapest, best means to ship this? Okay, did I charge my buyer enough money? If you're charging your buyer enough money, am I losing money because I put free shipping? It's a pain in the booty, that shipping part. Now, yeah, sure, the more you do it, the easier it gets. Poshmark, you don't have to worry about anything. It's so easy. When the buyer buys something, they pay shipping. You get emailed the shipping label. All you have to do is hit print. You don't have to weigh anything. You don't have to measure anything, or, you know, oh, is this, you know, they want it in a couple days. Is that going to be more expensive? It's all priority mail, 2 to 3 days, which is pretty quick. You know, that's pretty quick. So you pretty much put it in a box, slap the label on it, and send it out. Poshmark just allowed, they talked to the USPS, and now they're allowing flat rate boxes. It's easy. I don't mind paying 20% because it's easy. You know, it's kind of like a fee for like the ease of use, and it saves me time. So no, I don't mind it. Yeah, sure, I would like to pay less. I'm not gonna lie. Of course, who wouldn't like to pay less? But I don't mind because it's so freaking easy. Next, this one's from Instagram. How and why do you make invoice and packing slips? So I have showed a few small videos on Instagram and pictures of invoices They're not really invoices that people pay for them. They're more like a packing slip. I make them on my iPad. When Poshmark emails you the shipping label, the email itself shows you the item and like pretty much like a thumbnail of the description, and it shows you the breakdown of money. It'll say, okay, whatever, American Eagle sweater, $18. Shipping, here's the, you know, whoever bought it, and your fees afterward. All I do is I take a screenshot of it and I cut it down so they don't see what I make. And I copy and I put that in a pretty much like a template for a packing slip. So I print the label and it prints into my computer, and I print the packing slip, and they get right next to each other. So when I have crazy amounts of sales, especially after a weekend or after closet clear out, and all you have is a shipping label, I never want to send the wrong person something. The packing slip, you look at it and it says their address, and you look at the label and it's the same address, you know what's pictured goes in that bag. It is a little more on ink, but I've never once sent the wrong person the wrong thing. It makes it, I'm quicker at packing because of the packing slip. It also allows my husband to pull my items for me. It makes it very easy. I did hire an employee, a very part-time employee, so she helps me do stuff like that. I just trained her how to ship. And she said, this thing is so easy. So you don't need an invoice / packing slip. It's just my system that hasn't failed me yet. Yeah, so last question is, do I sell my own clothes on Poshmark, or is it just me sourcing? I do sell my own clothes on Poshmark. That's how I started this. That's how all this madness has happened. I started selling on Poshmark because I went through a drastic life change. I started eating better, I started exercising, and I dropped a lot of weight. And I went from a size like 18, 20 to what I am now, about a 12, give or take. And my clothes weren't fitting me. And that was a good thing. That was a very good thing. So I had all these larger clothes, and I didn't have money for a new wardrobe. Who can just say, hey, I have all these clothes and I need everything new? Not many people. So I listed them on Poshmark, sold them, took whatever the money that I sold, and instead of like cashing it out into my bank account, I would just purchase from Poshmark clothes that fit me. So I got a whole new wardrobe pretty much, you know, throughout the months, and that I was bit by the bug of reselling. So to this day, I still do sell my own clothes. Since I just moved into a house, I had the opportunity of going through everything all at once. You know, usually it's just seasonal. You know, when you're putting away summer stuff, you're like, oh, I don't wear that dress anymore. I went through everything and I whittled down everything. So I have been selling a lot of my own clothes, but most of it, the majority of it, is purchased to resell. So if you ever have any questions, I'm going to do this every now and again. I'm going to answer your questions. Leave them in the comments below. Find me on Instagram. I'm starting to take notes on all these questions. That was fun. Hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you guys have learned a little bit about the introduction to Poshmark. If you ever have any questions on it, don't hesitate. Comment below. I'd be happy to help you. I know a lot of the fellow flock members, they'd be willing to help you as well. So if everything's great, I hope you guys have happy holidays and have a great weekend.